Good morning. I'm here to meet the vinyl community. Today's August. We've got a chapter here called From Polanski to Khashoggi. That's the Middle Eastern guy. We try to read out this chapter to the vinyl community. And this is continuing with Katowski. Here we go. In the 1970s and 1980s, Katowski drifted away from filmmaking for his more dangerous, high stakes profession. He boasted that he worked for several years as a business consultant and confidant to the notorious corrupt Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi, 1935 to 2017. As far as I could gather, this criminal connection came through Victor Lones, Lones, who courted the petrodollars, a rich Arabs who gambled at the Playboy Club. Katowski's pride in the adventure of working for a mega crook who made billions of blood money by serving a middleman to arms companies selling weapons to the oppressive Saudi state speaks volumes of the moral climate of some of the Cielo crowd. There were no laws, no skies, no limits, was how Khashoggi's client, Prince Alfonso, Hohenlohe Langenberg of Spain, described the arms-dealing Sabarite Katowski counseled. Just as he wistfully reminisced about the wild chicks he scored in the Playboy days in swinging London in the 60s and LA during the sexual revolution, Katowski leered nostalgically over memories of the many glamorous beauties he had access to during the years as vizier to Khashoggi, who Vanity Fair magazine called one of the greatest whoremongers in the world. Khashoggi's biographer, Ronald Kessler, described the weapons marketer striking deals with his powerful clients in a luxury yacht docked in international waters to avoid criminal prosecution. He would give them anything they wanted: girls, food, cash. He had quite a variety of occasions on the boat. Some were very formal, some were orgies. One participant in the whoremongering, Pamela Bordes, Bordes, said she was part of an enormous group used as sexual bait. In comparison, all the self-righteous clucking about Manson's self-admitted small-time pimping and his later trading of feminine flesh for favors seemed hypocritical, to say the least. Katowski told us with relish, practiced the Muslim custom of keeping a harem of young pleasure wives along with his succession of official spouses. Katowski compared these later group sexual escapades favorable to the early bacchanalia he'd enjoyed at one of Polanski's lavacious cronies at the directors of the Knightsbridge Summer Ridge at Chateau Marmont residence in the 60s. These two phases of Katowski's life are linked by Polanski's later affair with Khashoggi's beautiful British wife, Soraya, Soraya. Madame Khashoggi also dated such familiar Casanovas from Polanski's clique as Warren Beatty and Sammy Davis Jr. Soraya left Davis, she later revealed in an interview, due to the same deliberating drug abuse issue that made the singer such a profitable client for Jay Sebring. Khashoggi committed many major crimes during Katowski's partnership with him, but the arms dealer only spent 3 rather comfortable months in a Swiss jail awaiting but eluding extradition on charges of conspiracy, racketeering, obstruction of justice, and mail fraud. In 2009, long after meeting Katowski's other infamous friend, Polanski also served time in a Swiss prison, where he awaited but ultimately avoided extradition to the U.S. for his admitted rape of an underage girl. At the time of our interview, I was not yet aware that Katowski also served briefly as a financial middleman to Timothy Leary. When he was a fugitive from U.S. justice hiding out in Switzerland in the early 70s As we will see with Polanski's friend Robert Evans, the Khashoggi and Polanski get a slap on the wrist for crimes that would put the less fortunate away for decades. In this regard, I must note that although Polanski's legal troubles were not discussed during our meeting, Gutowski avidly supported his friend when he was arrested for drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl. Gutowski sent a letter to the court stating that there is, in fact, very little that is dark or sinister about Roman. Casting doubt on the charges, Gutowski claimed that it was all because poor Roman was completely trusting, possibly excessive, so that he had been used from time to time by young and ambitious females who left that being seen with Roman in public or having their names linked with his in the gossip columns would lead to their advancement or gain them publicity. The other moral apostle, Robert Evans, also pitched in to say that the press has never captured the beauty of Roman soul. Mia Farrow, who came to fame as the drugged and raped victim of Rosemary's Baby, a film that was ultimately as much about sexual exploitation as it is the devil, also pitched in for her pedophile pal, Roman's good character. Ironic, since Farrow would later be so incensed by the as of yet unproven claims of child sexual abuse she leveled at her ex-partner, Woody Allen. It is so really hard to believe that these same trio, so willing to cover up Polanski's crimes in the mid-70s, were equally dishonest when it came to the murder of their friends in '69. Gutowski's lewd and luxurious life as advisor to Khashoggi was as close as it comes to being a henchman for the real-life James Bond supervillain. Gutowski recalls that his boss was even protected by the South Korean personal bodyguard called Mr. Kill, a name Ian Fleming might have well dreamed up. Gutowski and Khashoggi played up this bigger-than-life image by allowing this huge yacht and floating whorehouse to be used as fictional Bond battle Maximilian Largo's aquatic lair in the 1983 007 film Never Say Never Again. The yacht was essentially sold to another notorious Saudi-friendly cartoon villain millionaire with geopolitical aspirations. The new owner predictably named the ship Trump Princess. Revealing any nefarious deeds, Spectre, capital S-P-E-C-T-R-E, committed, Khashoggi donated to a '68 campaign of Manson's nemesis, Richard Nixon, a close personal friend, a staunch supporter of crooked Republicans ever after Khashoggi meditated between Colonel Oliver North and the Ayatollah regime during the Iran-Contra scandal of the 1980s. This was President Ronald Reagan's secret scheme to free the U.S. hostages held captive by selling arms to his enemy Iran, diverting from the huge sums paid to the U.S. to Nicaraguan White Ring Contra rebels who used rape and torture as weapons in their terror arsenal. The plot funded by the massive and lethal narcotics operation, which made a mockery of the Reagan administration's pious "Just Say No to Drugs" campaign. Gutowski's employer made a fortune selling weapons to covert intelligence ops around the world. An aspect of his bloody business, Gutowski told us his former intelligence training and State Department connections eased. The U.S. Department investigated Khashoggi for conspiring to assist the Philippines' former dictator, Ferdinand Marcos, and his shoe-crazy wife, Imelda, to conceal the vast wealth the corrupt couple stole from the country they ruled. In the George W. Bush era, Khashoggi was made murderous profit by steering the U.S. to mount its lucrative invasion of Iraq. When Khashoggi's fortunes waned, Gutowski himself distanced himself from the fallen potentate as he had Polanski before him, but still spoke fondly of his disgraced friend. Gutowski made such a valuable witness because his guileless amorality allowed him to speak in a matter-of-fact manner about the orgies, the drug dealing, the organized crime elements integral to this Yellow Drive mystery without the shame, prudishness, or denial so many others I interviewed displayed. His honesty and all the rarer in the while some of the leads he gave me offered valuable information. Almost none of them wished to go on the record about what they knew. Many reacted to my questions with a defensive dread that made it very clear that they had something to hide. That's the end of that chapter. The next one is called Summit to Paramount, which is a huge chapter. They take 2 or 3 readings. There's so many people. This is the Billy Doyle Dawson Harrigan group, Robert Evans, Kutowski, on and on and on and on. Jill St. John. I mean, this is going to take a long time to read, so I can't even go into this right now. But we'll say thanks for anyone who tuned in, and God bless all the vinyl community and the crime community, and we pray for all the children.